Alright, welcome back. Alright, in this episode we're going to do page 6. So it says here, which graph shows the solution to the system? We have 3x plus 1 is equal to negative 1. Negative 2x plus y is equal to 4. Needs to both be in, well, we could do this a couple ways. We could put them both in slope-intercept form, or we could eliminate. I'm going to go ahead and put them in both slope-intercept form, okay? So this is going to be y is going to be equal to, I'm going to subtract the 3x from both sides. So that's going to be minus 3x minus 1. And then my second equation, that's going to be y is equal to, add the 2x to both sides. So that's going to be 2x plus 4. Okay. Now I need to set them both equal to each other, or I can go ahead and graph them. Let's look at our slopes. Let's see if that can help us out any here. So my first one's a slope of negative 1. My second one has a slope. So that has a slope of negative 1. I mean a y-intercept of negative 1. That has a y-intercept of negative 1. But the other one has a y-intercept of plus 4. So F can cancel out. And H can get canceled out. And let's see about number J. J can get canceled out. So without even actually doing any work, I solved my solution. But let's double check. It says that the solution here is the coordinate point. That means for both linear equations, the solution point is at negative 1, 2. So that means it's going to be true for both equations. So let's see if it's true for both equations. So in order for me to see if it's true for both equations, I'm going to plug that point in. So that's going to be 2 is equal to negative 3 times negative 1 minus 1. So it's going to be 2 is equal to positive 2, because a negative times a negative is a positive, positive 3 times minus 1, which will give me 2 is equal to 2. That checks. Now let's check it in the other one. In the other one, we're going to have 2 is equal to 2 times negative 1 plus 4. All right, that's going to give me 2 is equal to negative 2 plus 4. 2 is equal to 2. That checks out. So G is our answer. Now, the other way you could have done that is set them equal to each other, solved for x, substituted x into the other equation, and then find that coordinate point. That could have worked too. But in this case, since all of our graph lines were different, we were able to just solve it that way. Be aware, probably on the STAR test, maybe even on your actual final test, it may not be that easy. You may actually have to graph them, put them in your calculator, and in your calculator where y1 and y2 match, that's your solution as well. Problem number 27. It says, what is the solution for the inequality negative 3 less than or equal to negative times x plus 9? We need to solve for x. We may need to make sure that we distribute that negative number. This is essentially saying negative 3 less than or equal to negative 1 times x plus 9. Now we can handle this in a couple of ways. We can distribute that negative 1, or I can divide out that negative 1 right now, and that will cancel it out. Okay? Now, remember, when I divide, my signs switch. So that's going to become 3 greater than or equal to x plus 9. I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. So then that's going to be negative 3 greater than or equal to x. No, not 3. Should be negative 6. Now, pay attention. This here says that my x has my x on the left side, my sign on the right. So that means if I switch this, I need to say that x is less than or equal to negative 6. So my answer is going to be the one that I happen to underline, which is going to be C. You want to make sure that you pay attention to that when you switch it, that you're going to have to change your inequality again. What is the equation of a line that is perpendicular to this equation and passes through the point 6, 2? So, oops, sorry, cat. My cat just scared him. anyways, we need to find the slope. So when it's in standard form, we can either put this in slope-intercept form, or I can use my, it's going to be my m is equal to negative, I believe it's negative a over b. Let me double check. I don't remember right offhand, so let's just solve it for slope-intercept. So I'm going to move that 9x to the other side. So that's going to be 3y is equal to negative 9x plus 36. Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. Y is going to be equal to 9 divided by 3 is negative 3x. And then 36 divided by 3 is going to be plus 12. So what we want to pay attention to here is our slope. Our slope needs to be perpendicular to negative 3. Perpendicular to negative 3 means it's the reciprocal. It's the opposite reciprocal. So if it's negative 3, it needs to be positive 1/3. So that's the perpendicular slope. Okay? So now let's go ahead and erase this so I have room. So now I'm going to use point slope. So I'm going to say y minus 2 is equal to our slope, which is 1/3, x minus 6. Now I'm going to distribute. So that's going to become 1 minus 2 is equal to 1/3 x. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Plus, maybe minus 2. Plus 2 plus 2. Y is equal to 1/3 x. Hold on. What's the equation of line perpendicular? None of these answer choices are correct. Let's double check. So, perpendicular, so we're going to have 3y is equal to negative 9x plus 36. Y is going to be equal to negative 9 divided by 3 is going to give us negative 3x plus 36 divided by 3 is 12. So the perpendicular slope, yeah. These none of these answer choices are all right. None of those are. Perpendicular slope is the reciprocal. So our perpendicular slope needs to be positive 1/3. So then in terms of writing our equation, yeah, it's negative b over a. Ax plus by. So c, negative b over a. So then that'd be negative 3 over 9. I think that's what they did wrong. I think they did something weird there. Okay. So then we have y minus 6 is equal to 1/3 x minus 2. That's plus 6. Wait. Y minus y1. Y minus 6 is equal to 1/3 times x minus 2. Yeah, none of these answer choices are correct. Because when we distribute this, minus 6, I switch these, that should be minus 2, and this should be minus 6. So this is going to be y is minus 2 is equal to 1/3 x minus 6 divided by 3 is going to be 2. We're going to add 2 to both sides. The 2 cancel out, so it'll be y is equal to 1/3 x. Oh no, y perpendicular. Weird. Yeah, none of those answer choices are correct. Okay. Number 29. Suppose y varies directly with x. Write an equation for direct variation if y is equal to 8 and x is equal to 15. Direct variation is y is equal to kx. Okay? Y is equal to 8 is equal to k times 15. Now, that means we need to solve for this. So in order to solve for k, I'm going to divide both sides by 15. 3 will go into, or let's see, 4 will go into 8. That's as simplified as it can go, sorry. So then k is going to be equal to 15, 8/15. So now in terms of writing the direct variation, it's going to be y is equal to 8/15 x. So that is B. Number 20.